Do I hear a motion to approve tonight's agenda? Motion by Louis, second by Ricky. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Item C, approved minutes from the regular meeting held on May 16th, 2023, and a special call meeting held on May 31st, 2023. I need a motion to approve those minutes. Motion by Bruce, second by Janice. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Department of Superintendent's reports. It's in your all's packets. You all been able to review and look at personnel actions, and the activity account donations. Okay, so, need a motion to approve those? Don't need to just that they reviewed it, okay. All right, moving along, item E, this is the fun part of the meeting, showcase and recognitions. We're gonna start with our track team. Coach Barr.
All right. It is my pleasure to have the members of the track team here tonight that participated in the state meet. And we want to thank the whole team, everyone that participated. It's a very successful season. And I want to thank Coach Murphy and Coach Blackwell. They put in a lot of time in the rain, in the sleet, in the cold, and all the track kids down there every day working hard. And we're proud of the track program. And it's even getting better as we go. I want to ask Coach Murphy and Coach Blackwell to come up and introduce the tracksters. That are here tonight, and their participation, and I'd make them say a little something. I'd say, hey, she's a senior, watch her grow, and see, watch her grow and develop, and we'll miss Katie next year. She knows I'll shut up.
Everybody, I like to speak in practice. Now, for some reason I'm nervous now. All right. I'm really proud of everybody that came. Big turnout that we've ever had since last season. Last season, Belle, Bruce was a part of it. We only had like maybe 4 kids last year. Turned out to having almost a full middle school team, boys and girls, and having a full girls team. We're still working on the girls team, but full boys team. Good to have the kids that we did have come out there. One thing I always told them is when they come to practice, make sure we're working hard, make sure we're sticking to the focus of what we're doing. It's it took a little bit to get it roll along, but when we got there, towards the end of the season, I think everybody recognized what they were really wanting to do and what the goal was. And so the people that are here today, they know the reason why they got what they've gotten. They got a chance to compete at state. I think my coaching staff too as well. We're still trying to build on the coaching staff. Without them, to be honest, like there's times that I had to be late because I worked until 4 o'clock, and then Coach Lynch will take over and help us out until I got there, and it was a big help. All the parents that we had that stepped up and take the kids to where we need to go, carpool, and getting to places. Without a lot of people that supported me, the track team wouldn't be what it is right now. So, you want to say anything?
I appreciate all the young people that commit with their parents too. They just worked hard and did a good job, and you keep on doing it, and you keep running and smiling, like I said. And I'll tell you a little quick story about Bruce before we finish. Before the state track meet, we were working out, and I said, I need you to do 2 things for me: keep your head straight and move those arms. He did it at the state meet. He comes out, runs a 2:02 in the slow heat. And you should have saw those kids come out at first heat. They were flying. I mean, he sent a message, as an 8th grader, he sent a real good message that I'm going to be somebody to contend with, and I'm proud of him for that. So you did a really good job, all of you did, but just that remembering that when we wrote the school that day, he said, I'm gonna have a school record when I get through. And he did it that way, so. Good job, all of you, and the arm bell.
Yeah, one of the things that I've noticed that, good thing I got Lindell here, cause he went to look at all the old school records. There's a lot of records that got broken this year. A lot of records that got broken this year, and every single one is in here. So y'all earned that. Just letting y'all know that y'all really earned that, and y'all put the work in for it. So we'll go ahead and hand these out. So Alina Barrett, she did a 2x50 at state. She's not here. She's at church camp. She won't be back till Friday. So that's just what we can do. But Darian Bell also ran with her. Yeah, bring that too. I got all
Can we get a picture of them one at a time?
Oh, yeah.
Y'all come out here this way.
Next one's gonna be Katie Chumbley. Yeah, we might as well. Next one will be Briley Klein. I haven't seen all the news and everything all over everywhere. She also competed at nationals and actually medaled at nationals. So there you go.
Coach, did I not read tonight? She's an All-American?
Yeah, she's also an All-American too as well.
Oh, wow.
Next up is Bruce Hayden, our only 8th grader. The other 8th grader, sorry, Aaron Arnett. And then that's the last of everybody. Just like I said, Alina couldn't be here today, but I know she would be super proud and be smiling and probably say hey to everybody.
Thank you, coaches. Thank you, kids. Good job. Way to represent this school. Yes, Mr. Bell?
Before Coach Blackwell gets out of here, in case everybody didn't know, he was a 300-meter hurdle champion.
Oh, wow.
Back in 1981. They won. Before most of us were born.
Bro, help him around there. Get down. Let's go. Let's go. All aboard.
Aaron, have a safe trip.
Excuse me, sir.
Thank you.
Bro, let's go.
We're gonna move along now on the agenda. We're gonna move along. Recognition of Susie Stanley, who is retiring. We're going to miss her so much. Susie, come on up, honey.
I'll just say quickly that Susie and it's made such an impact here in the time you've been here. And you miss dearly. The kids love you, staff love you, we love you. We hope to see you around some surgery the other day.
You just Sure.
Is Susie United changing it?
Yeah, I told her that.
Thank you.
You wanna go ahead and open that, you
We all know it's Susie.
Love it. I bet it's a Kayak. No.
Oh, yeah, this is what I'm talking about, you all. Relaxing in the sun.
It's a rocker.
Oh, I can do that in the sun too. Look, as a cup holder, you know that's gonna be utilized very much now. Because you have to. Thank you all very much to everyone. I love each and every one of you. I'm gonna miss these babies. And I'm gonna miss some of the grown-ups too, I'm not gonna lie. But, yeah, I love it here at Paris, and I'll always be a Paris girl.
We know that.
Always.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it.
Oh, look at you. Thank you. Well, thank you all. I love you. We all take care of that. Thank you all.
Thank you, Susie.
Yes, ma'am. I wouldn't miss them all for nothing.
Next on our agenda is item F, and it's a public comment, but before we do that, I'd like to read to you, item A here. Pursuant to Senate Bill 150, 2023, the Paris Board of Education will have a first reading at its special call meeting on June 29, 2023, today at 5 o'clock, of a new proposed district policy, DP 09-141, which addresses student privacy rights. Public comment on this proposed policy can be given during this time set aside for public comment. So do we have anybody here for public comment? Does everybody know what the Senate Bill 150 is? It's here. Would you,
Yeah, I can read
you wanna
that.
read that to
This
us?
is the proposed policy. KRS 158.189 requires the board, after following public comment at an open meeting, to adopt this policy. 09.141, necessary to protect the privacy rights for students, that at a minimum does not allow students to use restrooms, locker rooms, or shower rooms that are reserved for students of a different biological sex. A student who asserts to school officials that his or her gender is different from his or her biological sex and whose parent or legal guardian provides written consent to the school officials shall be provided with the best available accommodation. That accommodation shall not include the use of school restrooms, locker rooms, or shower rooms designated for use by students of the opposite biological sex, while students of the opposite biological sex are present or could be present. Acceptable accommodations may include, but are not limited to, access to single stall restrooms or controlled use of faculty bathrooms, locker rooms, or shower rooms.
So everybody here that would like to comment about that, the Senate bill? Okay. Do we have anybody here that would like to make a public comment tonight? Mr. Redwine?
Thank you. I'm here regarding the mental health services our students are receiving. There was a grant that was applied for, a year two grant. Funds requested in the amount of $100,000 with a grant cycle of 2 years from September of 21 to September of 23. The grant says if awarded, the school would use the funds for the salary of a licensed school board mental health and wellness specialist. In the grant, it says, you all say that COVID-19, its effects on students and their families have resulted in unprecedented mental health needs. That our students need a full-time, on-campus mental health specialist to provide ongoing services and support for students' mental health needs. There were surveys done by the school that supported a need for this position. You noted that average daily attendance was down during the 2020 and 21 school year, both supporting your request and the need for a mental health specialist. You noted a study that the Pritchard Committee student voice team did when you mentioned clearly points to the fact that the pandemic has significantly impacted our students' mental health. You mentioned a survey of the local district, 35% of students want mental health services but didn't have access to them. And there was a 50% increase in students who wanted but lacked access to mental health services, and that this local impact study gives strong indications that Kentucky students need additional mental health services because of the pandemic. It goes on to say that our superintendent recognized the increased mental health needs, and he is in support of calling in additional resources, and that your hope is with the position to increase access to mental health resources for our families and have one person who can develop relationships with students. And you make a statement that the Year 2 grant will help our students and families develop strategies to improve their mental health and be stronger and more resilient to social influence in the future. There was even a quote sometime around that same time from Mr. McCauley that he references the mental health of our students and staff is crucial. We can only wonder, why did the school pink slip the great mental health specialist we had at the end of the 2022 school year? You had grant money to keep her on or even hire a new one, but you didn't, despite the fact you make all these statements and arguments on how important the mental health of our students and family is, and you had someone with no mental health license or qualification in charge of students' mental health now. So I'm just wondering, why have we not hired another mental health specialist?
Thanks for your comment.
No answer to that?
I'll follow up with you.
Okay. So you're gonna call me?
Sure.
Are we gonna meet or what?
I'll call you, set up a meeting, or I can send you an email. I'll follow up with you.
As long as it's not like our last meeting, you're willing to bring honesty to the table, I'll be happy to.
Thanks for your comment.
Okay, moving along, no presentations. We're gonna move to item H, our consent agenda. Everybody's had a chance to look the consent agenda over. Of course, you know all those things in our packet that we can review. Are there any questions or discussions about any of these? Okay, if not, do I hear a motion to approve this consent agenda? Motion by Bruce, second by Ricky. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay, it's approved. We don't have any old business tonight. We'll move along to our new business. A, consider motion to approve the 23-24 certified evaluation plan.
And that's in the board folder, but that's, Teresa's led that work with our certified staff, set by statute, who has to be on there, principals and teachers, and they reviewed that and signed off on it, so the board just needs to approve that.
Okay. So do I hear a motion? Motion by Janice, second by Bruce. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. B, consider a motion to approve first reading of the KSBA policy and procedure updates.
So, most of these are the standard updates that are done after the legislature meets and makes small adjustments to verbiage. A couple of the ones that are emergency readings are in the next couple of items. These are just pretty standard updates throughout the year. The one that has brought the most conversation has been the one that we mentioned at the beginning of the meeting.
Any questions? Do I hear a motion to approve the first reading of the KSBA policy and procedure updates? Motion by Bruce, second by Louis. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item C, consider a motion to approve emergency reading of policy 8.23, harmful to minors, and 8.113, graduation requirements.
The only reason these are emergency readings is we were supposed to have a meeting last week, and I was sick, and we were unable to do that. That would have been the first reading, and this is the second. These two policies have to be in place by July 1. The rest can be in place at the July meeting.
Do I hear a motion to approve the emergency reading policy? Janice, second by Bruce. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item D, consider a motion to approve emergency substitutes for the 2023-2024 school year.
It's just something we have to adopt each year for people that might not be fully certified teachers.
Okay. So do I hear a motion to approve the emergency substitutes? Motion by Ricky, second by Bruce. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Item E, consider a motion to enter into executive session for KRS 61.8101F and K to discuss a student admission, discipline issue, including a review of confidential student records. Do I hear a motion? Motion by Bruce, second by Janice. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We will now go into executive session. Moving along, item G, consider a motion to accept or deny enrollment based on closed session discussion. I need to have a motion to either accept or deny.
Motion to deny.
Motion to deny by Bruce, do I hear a second? Second by Janice, we will vote one by one. Louis? Accept or deny? Ricky? Bruce? Janice? And I deny. Motion carries. Moving along, superintendent's report, he's got a few things to report to us.
Yeah.
Turn it over to you, Mr. Collins.
Real quickly, I wanted to see what you guys thought and really get an idea about putting our banking services out for bid. We're currently with Stock Yards Bank for our general fund balance. We haven't put that out for bid for quite some time. I've had a couple of banks reach out to say, we're gonna put that out, and I think it's probably time to give the other banks in the community an opportunity to bid that. So, the plan is probably next week's newspaper, we've got a couple of draft, bid documents that will run for a couple weeks in the paper, and then maybe not by the July meeting, but by the August meeting, have those bids for you guys to look at and see.
Is that separate from the funds for the?
Yeah, this is just our checking account, basically, the regular, those liquid funds.
Are we gonna ask for, like,
Specific things?
specific things on it?
Well, I'll share what we've got, the draft kind of bid package, and if you think we would like to add, specifically what's the interest rate we could get on that checking account,
Yeah.
or things of that
Yeah,
nature.
things like that.
I mean, I think that the bid, pretty standard, that would be one of the things they would include. But if anyone could do a little bit more attractively, so I know I've had at least 3 that say they want to bid it, so I think we would have some competitive
Yeah,
bids.
that'd be good.
Did we get that bid from other school districts?
The wording.
The wording and
Yes.
stuff?
Yeah.
I just looked at one for Powell County within the past couple of months. If you want to, theirs ought to be available, the RFP they put out. I looked at your own, what you have as a sample, but one of the things that some depositories include, that not all of them do, so some districts include in their RFP is essentially it's a yes or no, are you willing to offer all employees fee-free checking account? There's all kinds of things like that you add in. I say, what else are you willing to do for our employees? What are you willing to do for our students? Not just what interest rate will you give us on our deposits, but what else can you do to engage our community as a supporter?
Yes, if you don't mind. And then the next thing is just a facilities update. As you guys can see, the preschool is humming right along. I should have some information tomorrow about that change, about the back doors, getting that straightened out. We'll see how that comes in.
The back end does not look like there's hardly any space for anything.
There's pretty good distance between the very back wall and fence. The fence isn't even on the line. The line's actually a few feet beyond that fence. So there should be
Okay.
30
Because I was going
plus.
by, just by like the construction fence, and I was like, that is not.
No, I mean, it's not huge. It's obviously, most of the space is building, but, there's plenty of room for patio with some tables and chairs and a place for.
30 feet's a lot.
Yeah, I think when you're talking about sitting down, seating for 80 to 100 people out there.
Oh, by the way, is there gonna be a privacy fence put along that back wall?
That's the plan. Yes.
I just wanted, I couldn't remember.
I think we kind of wanted to do like we did between us and the Colonial Motel.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
We already, is that included in the bid?
That's probably one of the add-on, there's about $1.5 million of soft cost, and that would be one of the, landscaping that's not fully included, so playground's not part of that bid, so those things are soft costs that will come in, so that's part of that.
Is that gonna be bid out other than the contractors that are doing it now, or is that gonna be given out to local contractors?
Well, when we get to that point, I'll have to see what's already been bid from their original process, but anything that has been bid, that would be something we do inside. It's kind of like, there's no furnishings bid for that yet. So like we would put that out for us to independently find tables and chairs, and so we've already got 2 preschool classrooms, so we may not, some of the stuff that we budgeted $1.5 million for the soft costs, we may already have some of those things, so we'll help offset some of the changes. The amphitheater out front is gonna be really cool. I can't wait to see Mr. Hayes working that to the next level. It's gonna be 3 levels, kind of curved around there, so that's gonna be really cool. We met today with library design and had some students and parents and staff come to that at 10 o'clock today. We got some really cool ideas. We should have a rendering in 2 weeks or so. We're even looking at like in the corner, the flooring's down in there. I'll take you up there after the meeting if you wanna go check it out. Flooring looks great, but even talking about some rooms, some closed rooms, like 12 by 10 foot rooms for studios, like from study areas that would be closed off. And then above those rooms in the corner, like a mezzanine on top where people can come up and have some higher level seating. I think would be really cool. A recording studio for podcasts and or like newsrooms. And then on another corner, one of the design ideas of today was a tiered seating where it's like a 24-inch step for like seating, and then it goes up 24 inches for seating, kind of padded seating with electric running through all of it. And then the rest of the space would be a soft mixture of desk type seating and then soft seating, and then on the back side where the computer lab has been would be like classroom space. And we're looking at moving the circulation desk between the classroom space and the big open part of the library, which will allow that librarian to serve both groups around there. There's like a big column there in the middle, so.
And where all the books gonna be.
Although, so they'll be on shelves, so there'll be, we're looking at some shelving on casters. So, one of the new thing is some shelving that's not really high shelving, like the ones that you can see a 6th grader over the top of. So putting those on casters, so it's on a flexible space, we can roll these out of the way. Just some really cool ideas came out today, and then once we get those renderings, I'll share those out with you all. And, but we're moving forward. The architects kind of dragged their feet a little bit and get back with me on this, and we went ahead and did the flooring without them because I want to get this space as good as we can before school starts. So that's that. We did approve the architect to do the surveyor to do the survey for the greenhouse. So we look for that to be done in the next few weeks, and then like to have the groundbreaking for that hopefully before winter hits. I think what else are the big things? So the field looks nice down there.
My company is working with somebody about doing like boundary surveys
Craycraft stuff. Yeah, they get, Lochner, Chuck Craycraft's old firm that he worked for, came out and got some massive drones, that came out and did some 3D imaging, and are really looking at that. We're getting on a time crunch with whether or not it's gonna be feasible or not. We've been working on it for a while. I'm not comfortable recommending to the board that we spend $50,000 on survey and hydraulic engineer until we know it's feasible. So, and we haven't even bonded for, you know, the funding for this is still a little bit down the road. So, it'll really depend on when that comes through, which the end of next month, we should get that tax rate information and we'll know where that puts us. And then we can have a better idea what that looks like. But even then, that's not, even if all that goes, like we hope it might, because we're still not finalized till mid-October. So it really puts you in a time crunch to do a massive, 400 dump truck loads of dirt and offsetting, mitigating flood rise on the other side. So if I had to say right now, I think if we're gonna be able to move forward with something, it would be probably something at the current level of what it is, which is still a great upgrade. And I'd like to see turf go all the way to the fence, which could still open us up to have softball and maybe even baseball down there. So, that's kind of the big picture there. The custodial staff's doing tremendous work, maintenance staff getting the school ready, where floors are shiny and things are looking good there. I think that's it there. And then finally, I put last year's, my work calendar, and then next year's forecast work calendar in the board folder too. So, that's all that.
Okay, thank you. Louis, you got anything before we close?
Yeah, on the facilities upgrade, did it get put on the plan to look at, if we do all this down here, to look at doing some things out there?
Let me check. If not, I'll make sure, because we haven't submitted that yet, the district facilities plan. I'll make sure, I know we did some significant upgrades out at that out at the 8th Street complex, but let me make sure that includes the full, what we've talked about with the track and indoor space.
I think we've talked about it, but I don't think it's definitely in the.
Yeah, I'll make sure.
Six hole.
Yeah. 6-hole golf course. You gotta dream big, right?
We need a golf team. We used to have a really good golf team.
Yeah, I talked to actually Stuart Beeler. I think he might help Wallace this fall. That'd be good.
Ricky?
No, ma'am.
Bruce?
Not much to.
Janice?
I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something. I think we're moving along in the right direction. And, we've got a lot of good things going on. And, I say we just keep moving forward and, we don't let anything stop us or discourage us or keep us from accomplishing the things that we're trying to accomplish in the school district, whether it be, little snide remarks on Facebook and social media or whatever. We are going to rise above and move and show that Paris is the place to be. And I think we got a great staff. I think we got a good leader at the helm here. And, I'm excited about the new year.
On that note, we're less than 20 students enrolled from our highest since 1997 enrollment. Less than 20 kids, so,
That's awesome.
it's big, yeah.
Yep.
Gives me goosebumps.
Yep. So we must be doing something right. Okay. Well, with that, Grant, we appreciate you being here tonight. And do I hear a motion to adjourn? Janice, second by Ricky. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.